Man, YouTube, look at this Godzilla creation from a few episodes back. I love it, but if you've read the title, you've seen the thumbnail, description, etc., we're creating yet another character from King of the Monsters here in Scribblenauts Unlimited, so let's do this! Rodan. So Rodan from King of the Monsters, of course, Godzilla. This is going to be amazing. We're going to go ahead and start off with a source object that's probably pretty obvious, but that's going to be pterodactyl here in Scribblenauts Unlimited. And so with the pterodactyl, you want to go ahead and take off the head, take off the wings on the end. We're going to do the wings kind of in a semi-interesting way, I guess. It's just going to be a little bit what you might not be thinking of, perhaps, but we got cesium coming up right here. C-E-S-I-U-M. Give it a little texture, color pattern, and everything. That'll be for the neck. You do want to shrink down the pterodactyl's neck as well. We're going to put down dragon fruit. We're actually going to use this stamp many times, a dragon fruit. It's a very interesting and I think useful stamp, especially for what we're doing. Wendigo, we're going to take the Wendigo's arm, the end, I guess, like hand and arm piece, you could say. Put that all down here, and it'll be for the legs. So that's looking okay. So Rodan, we're going to need to move around some stuff for the wings. We'll actually retype in pterodactyl right here. You can actually grab that from a list of recently used words, but just in case anybody needed that spelled out one more time, I just went ahead and typed it in, taking this wing piece. It's the very end wing, I guess you could say. Notice that I had to move it around a little bit. We want it to be on the grid so that you can put both wings back there. Now, when Rodan flies, like how we have it positioned right now, at least if you do these wings, this makes sense when Rodan walks, but unfortunately for the pterodactyl and Scribblenauts, the wing actually in the back, the behind wing, flips upside down. Amphisbaena, I just typed in. We're going to take the wing of the Amphisbaena as well. That's actually going to be on the wings of our Rodan creation for, it's supposed to be like the little hand, you know, right there, that pterodactyl-like hand coming up within those wings. We did have a bass, of course, the fish bass. I'm not talking about a bass guitar or anything. The game doesn't know that you're saying that or not. Dragon fruit going to be for the main part of the head right here. But yes, again, when it's walking, the pterodactyl and Scribblenauts is walking, the wings are fine. But then when it starts flying, it's like for some reason, they just like sort of reversed it. I guess it was supposed to look like it was more realistic flying. I mean, none of this game looks completely hyper-realistic or anything like that, so I don't know why they did it. But yes, we had a kraken piece. There's like a tentacle part after that shark fin, you know, the behind fin, but on the bottom. And mahi-mahi, the fish, we took the side fin of that as well. All of this stuff is kind of creating the beak, as well as these like horns that are on the top for Rodan right here, with a flying fish bottom fin piece as well to kind of finish that off too. But that kraken piece, I guess, was also for the tongue, we should mention. And this is like not the very end of the tentacle, but not the very start. I don't think it was sort of near the middle. You can definitely find it, or at least find the stamp that you really are looking for, you know, to fit that exact design. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into the properties editor right now. In Scribblenauts, this is just where you like edit health and what your character's damage looks like and all that kind of behind the scenes stuff. Well, mostly behind the scenes facets of your characters and objects. This is where I like to read background information and fun facts about the characters that we create. Let's do this for Rodan, who has the original name of Radon, actually, but the name is actually based on that of a pteranodon. While it does bear a close resemblance to that of a pterosaur in many appearances over the years, I think that they made it the most epic in its form that we've created today. I just hit the mic, I'm sorry. I.e., that would be from Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Rodan looks amazing in the trailers and artwork that they've shown off so far. There really is a lot that we could say about it, and we only have a very short amount of time, so I think that I'll just jump right into the discussion of Rodan's abilities. We've seen many powers and abilities across the different movies and media showing Rodan so far, but we definitely know, especially now, about the biovolcanic nature of this beast. So one thing we'll do is we'll make sure that he doesn't really take damage from fire in Scribblenauts, but in the weapons tab for his shoot projectile weapon, I'm just gonna do wind. Sounds a bit simple maybe, but that's a huge part of Rodan's obvious flight ability, and with those huge wings, he can create massive winds, of course. The last part that we'll add, again, because many know, we're a bit limited in this game with how much that we can do, but I've decided that we'll have Rodan shoot out a fireball. That's after he takes damage and becomes brave and all that stuff. You'll see the scripts on screen, of course, but you know what? Tell me what you guys think. Oh man, it's gonna be amazing seeing all of these characters in King of the Monsters spoilers, but I want to know what you guys think about Rodan. Subscribe, smash that like button, but you know what should come up next. Yes, we're gonna put Rodan on the level right here, and there's our Garmadon and Shark Mech is still over there, but here, I wanted to test out that right there. That was the wind projectile. That's what it's gonna look like here. Let me actually show that off one more time. Boom! Right there. So, of course, when Rodan shoots from far away, as a projectile, it is going to, this looks a little bit strange. I'm sitting here riding on top of the neck on the back right there, and so here, let me go ahead and dismount, and you guys know exactly what is coming up next. You want to see these two beasts battle it out. So Godzilla versus Rodan, they are both actually on fire, but Rodan actually, did I do the script wrong? I think I made him take damage from the fire. Godzilla does shoot out the atomic breath in the form of a blue fireball here in Scribblenauts. This is actually a little bit amusing though that I unchecked that, because you can hear the sounds of their fire like here, I'm gonna shut up for a second. It's like a beat or something like Anyway, this is actually, I think it's gonna go exactly how I was imagining it was gonna go. Yes, Rodan has fallen, ladies and gentlemen. Godzilla's still reigning victorious, shooting that one last atomic breath fireball. Actually, there's another one going. He's probably just gonna keep shooting them. It hit Garmadon's Shark Mech. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, Garmadon from the Lego Ninjago movie. He's just standing there next to his mech like, hey, who did that? This Shark Mech shouldn't be able to be on fire. But it is in Scribblenauts, of course. Godzilla still somehow actually feeling the effects of the Rodan fire as well. We didn't extinguish it, of course, and we allowed our Godzilla to actually be damaged by the fire as well. Let's go ahead and we'll dispose of him right now, because we are going to be moving on to today's other creation. Let's take it away! Alright, and so starting off with the Sunbather as the source object, of course that's the Sunbather female we're gonna be creating. Of course, the first off the body, we're gonna be creating this as two separate objects, but it's gonna be Captain Marvel. Coming up, of course, in the upcoming film, we had a cyborg. The back arm of a cyborg will actually be the start of both of the arms, as well as a mecha. So we do have the mecha, like, hand piece, and this is gonna be just, you know, sort of our Scribblenauts interpretation. It's like, oftentimes in Scribblenauts Unlimited, though, you especially know this if you've seen the series before, but like, you don't always get every single last little detail, like picture perfect, this like 100% spitting image, plus that would be kind of boring, you know? So it's like, you want to interpret, you know, and translate the characters that you're creating in this game into the universe of Scribblenauts Unlimited. So kind of keep that in mind, I would say, as we're creating Captain Marvel here. And of course, this is not like the green type outfit and everything. This is sort of that main, I would say this is more so what Captain Marvel is usually known for, at least in the comic universes and things that we've seen of the past. Octopus tentacles are going down right now with that wide angle on them. We also had a half rest and glow stick, as well as this like bottom neck piece of a plesiosaurus that was down there for the belt, which was the choker. And Buzz is one of Maxwell's many brothers in this game, so we used Buzz, the back leg of Buzz. Notice that, of course, with those legs, we place them down, and then you can turn on those green grids, like where the leg grid is. You know, you can click on that leg grid, essentially. There's the stamp limit reached, actually, so we have reached the limit. But what I was saying is you could just increase the size of the grid rather than clicking on the leg or tapping on the leg and increasing that, you know, increasing the size of that. It would be two different size proportions and everything, and if you did it by tapping onto the legs and watching how big they grow, just even one tick up, you know, is going to be much bigger than you want it to be. So, okay, we are in the properties editor right now. This is, of course, where we're going to read the background information and fun facts, as you know. So Captain Marvel is obviously the name of a fictional superhero, and also the film that will be coming out on March 8th, 2019. At least here in the United States is that date. Believe it or not, if you somehow didn't know this, Captain Marvel has been both male and female characters over the years, with this film set to follow the Carol Danvers story. I'm a fan before seeing it because of the obvious, but Captain Marvel was never really a series that I followed very closely back in my younger days of comic book reading and all that. Hopefully one day I'll get to see the movie, probably after theaters. Most of you guys know I have a little toddler, and that makes movie going pretty hard right now. If I could have like one movie a year, it's gonna be Endgame. Probably not this. But okay, this is another case, like several from the Godzilla cast, where we could choose to do so many different superpowers but are limited by what the game can hold. Just know that I'm aware of her powers, but I'm making some somewhat strategic decisions, I'd say, for the episode and to fit into the limitations limitations of Scribblenauts Unlimited. Those in Scribblenauts Unmasked, have fun with all the powers that game allows for. Of course. Alright, so we're now, of course, starting off with the head as the source object. That's pretty obvious, but we're going to be making her head and just connecting the two objects together. That's one way you can kind of bypass this stamp limitation in Scribblenauts Unlimited. So we got a golden egg going down right there over kind of the bulk of the head. Now, we used a ghost hunter, that's the female ghost hunter, take the head of that as really the main head shape. You can't really start off with just the head of the ghost hunter as the source object, otherwise that would save us one stamp, but you can't really do just the head, you know, and actually have it be a head, really, how you would want it to be. We had a goldfish bottom fin right there after a comb over, and we also did, for the eyebrow, we did a spider fish. There's the little side fin of that. That gets you some good eyebrows right there. And so, we're gonna go with P, of course, P-E-A. The reason I spell that out is because it's like, I know somebody would make a joke about it being urine or something, if I didn't. So we got wart coming up right here. That's gonna be the pupil within her eyes, but we're also gonna do a wart, not intended to be a wart, but, you know, of course, Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson in this upcoming movie, you know, she's got that beauty mark right down there. We actually may need to make it a little bit smaller, but you can see that we just placed it down there on her upper part of her cheek, I guess you could say. Now, we're actually going to be doing the nose and the lips differently than I guess I've ever done before, so you're going to have to bear with me as we sort of get this going, I guess, but pimple was the white in the eyes that shine, so just the shining and the shimmer. Flying fish, that bottom fin will be for the top lips, but we're gonna do basically 2 times that flying fish, and a cuttlefish, that arm tentacle piece that you saw right there, that's down for the bottom lip. That kind of ties it all together. Now for the nose, I feel like we're going straight up like anime or comic book style with it, but it could be, you know, sort of for real humans as well. You can see that we have the half rest on bottom twice, one pointed up one way and one pointed up the other, but we also use jellyfish tentacle pieces for the more long parts of the like bridge of the nose, for example. And so just to abbreviate, we'll do Capt Marvel head, you know, so we don't have to type in Captain every time. It's just easier access, I guess, if you're on the Wii U, you know, and just stylus typing or whatever with the gamepad. Of course, on the equipment tab, make sure that your head object can be worn on the face like glasses. You could also do worn on the head like a hat, but basically you're gonna see something like this. It's probably not gonna align properly, you know, like that Captain America is over there. That Captain America is actually 2 different objects, you know, that's a head object and a body object. We made that back in our Infinity War Part 1 creation episode. So obviously, if you've seen the series before, all you gotta do is just go in there and edit the body object, turn on those green grids. Where that head grid is, you can move it around wherever you need it to go. You know, you just click on it, and in this case, of course, we wanted to move it down a bit. And so, why not? You know that this series, it has to have the epic crossover battle between these 2 universes. We've got Rodan, we've got Captain Marvel on the level right here, and so Captain Marvel can fly, super powerful, all that stuff. Gonna go up against Rodan and his firepower, his lightning, his crazy winds, all of that stuff. Gonna be also some lightning powers, though, from Captain Marvel, who can actually do that. And look, Captain Marvel can also control heat, so we made it, unfortunately, actually, I was gonna say we made it so that she couldn't really take damage from fire, but look at this, Captain Marvel actually down. So Rodan actually might be stronger than a lone Captain Marvel, although you gotta keep in mind, I mean, this is the Scribblenauts Unlimited universe. I don't know that that would really happen or not. You guys would have to actually put your opinions. I'm sure we may have some differing opinions, who knows? I think if it was like the real world, and there was a real world Rodan and a real world Captain Marvel could probably save us, right? Go ahead and suggest who we should create next. Most popular, most requested each week. We upload every Sunday. You can click the annotation on screen to be taken to the episode where we made King Ghidorah. But of course, we also made Godzilla in a past episode. And I'll go ahead and catch you guys on the next vid. And thanks for viewing.
Down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within. We can look ahead to the point of no return, to the rest of our lives as a spectacle.